Hey there, Cubers. My name is Plus2, and welcome to another episode of Minecraft. Today we are not joining the Ender Eye server. I'm not playing on that server currently. I'm playing on a brand new server that just launched today for its Season 2. Actually, I'm starting on its second season. And it is the Sector 17 server. I've been having a ton of fun with these guys so far. Seems like a really cool group of people. And I'm super excited to play. I've done a little bit of the early game stuff. I've been on for an hour or so here. Maybe a little longer. And yeah, I've done a little bit of the early game stuff here. Setting up some farms, getting stuff going here. I'm super excited for this this season, this series here. Because I got a really great idea for a base, which I'm hoping to get the first part of that base done in this episode. I'm not planning on doing like a starter base, then get rid of that starter base and start a new real base. I'm planning to start the season off with my starter base being part of what my actual base is going to end up being. So hopefully that works out okay, and I can make that work like I want it to. But we will just see. Now, to address a few things for those of you that have been on my channel before, I am recording this with shaders and a texture pack. The texture pack is the John Smith Legacy texture pack, and the shader pack is the Chocopic shader pack. Chocopic? I don't know. I will link both of those in the description below if you're curious to check them out. But mainly the reason I'm doing both of those two things is because it kind of adds to the ambience of the style that I'm going for with my base, which again, I'll talk about that again in a little bit, but I will show you that base and talk about it more once I have the first part set up for that. It shouldn't take too terribly long to set that up, so that's why I'm hoping I can get that done in the first episode today here. So it is starting to come along. I made a little bit of progress on the first portion of the base here. It's hard to tell what it is from this angle, but let me make a little bit more progress, and I hope it'll become pretty apparent what it is. I gotta find a better spot to view from. It might be best to get a view from up there. You can kind of see it a little bit better right now. There's a few extra blocks. There's a few extra blocks on it that I need while I'm building it. That won't be there. It kind of obscured a little bit. And there's no lights on it really right now. There's a couple torches on the bottom of it, but there's no actual lights where there are going to actually be lights. So I think that might be causing some of the issues with being able to see it properly. But we'll do a little jump board here after I make a little bit more progress, and hopefully it'll become really apparent what it is, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it looks awesome. So I'm just up here at the top working on the build, and I noticed that the shadow woo, hello. The shadow gives an excellent silhouette to what this actually is going to be. So a little sneak peek right there, and we'll cut back once I've finished the rest of it. This is this is so trippy, and I love it. Shh, I'm incogshebo. Nobody here but a wait, sheep. Nobody here but us sheep. Okay, and with that shearing, I should have enough wool to finish our project here, the starter portion of the base. Alright, no more teasers, no more hinting at what we're building. There it is. The finished, alright, nearly finished starting section of the base. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. I gotta check to make sure there's not any blocks missing, because I did just kind of rush through it a little bit. I'll go back and double check, but I don't think I've missed anything. Basically, if you can't tell what it is, it's a hot air balloon, like a sort of an old school style hot air balloon. This one is based off of a video by Grian put up on how to make a hot air balloon base. And that's what we are starting with. I'm going to be removing this tower eventually. I'm going to get a portal set up there, and then I think I'm going to build some type of building down here, sort of like a welcome center building, a little bit further away, so I can have a portal on the ground and then one up there, so you can get to from to up and down easily enough without having to have this big ladder here. But I absolutely love it. So the main base, as long as I have this this finished here, we have a little bit of a chat about what our main base is going to be like. There. So the main base for this season, for this server, I'm going to make sort of a steampunk style floating city building thing. It's gonna be pretty great. I've got a lot of really interesting plans in my head, and some pretty interesting designs laid out in a creative world. I'm gonna have several of these balloons that are nearly identical to this floating around. I'm gonna have them like connected with like hanging wooden bridges, which is gonna look awesome. And I think I'm even gonna have like platforms connected between them that are holding it up for like different farms and things. Lots of different really interesting ideas. To work out with this, but I'm super excited. This is the first step. I still gotta do the interior, so that's kind of what's gonna be the next goal here. Let me give you the grand tour of the starting base here. This is the gorgeous view from the basket. So this is kind of what the basket looks on the inside. It's the gorgeous view. I love the shadow. It's fantastic. The render distance is down pretty low right now. I think they're just keeping it low for the first few days of the server because there's a lot more traffic than will normally be on right now. So it's putting a lot of stress on the server. So I think they're just keeping it low for right now. I'm hoping they bump that up in a little bit. But still, either way, gorgeous view. There's a really big like lake or ocean type thing out that way. So that I think will be an incredible view once the render distance is bumped up a little bit. Yeah, so this is the basket. Oh, I wanted to talk about these. So these are, I have lanterns on this right now. Those are just temporary. I want to put glowstone blocks on there eventually. I just haven't gotten to the nether yet. But yeah, that's just a temporary thing for right now. I think it'll look a lot better once it has the full blocks on there. And then so we have this ladder going up, and we just have to, oops, there we go. Flip the trapdoor closed, which keeps it pretty mob proof, honestly. And then this is sort of like a basement layer type thing. Empty space. I can use it for more storage down here if I need to, but this is the first floor, storage floor, work floor, whatever you want to call it. And it's pretty roomy in here, to be completely honest. Like I'm surprised at how much room this place actually has. One of the things I did when I was building this out, I took out all of the superfluous blocks on the inside. So there's no wasted space here. Every single block except for these ones here that you see right here. Every single block is visible from the outside, and these technically are. But only if you look straight up at them. If I break this out, it's just kind of like a straight fall to the ground. Everything else is completely necessary. So there's actually more room in here than there was in my test build. So that's fantastic. And tons of storage space. Tons and tons of it. And I haven't even used all of it. Obviously, I can double stack chests on top of each other and stuff if I need to. I have more space down here for storage if I need to. I don't think I'm going to, though. It's got tons of room. And then up here is just going to be kind of a bedroom area, I think. I don't know. Oh, actually, no. I remember now. I do want to move this down. I put this floor up a little bit higher to give myself a little bit more headroom here on this floor. But I think I do want to bring it down one because this is where my portal is going to be. I'm gonna need some room for the portal, so I might have to do some finagling with that, but we'll make that work. But yeah, oh man, I'm absolutely in love with this base and how it's coming so far. Absolutely love it. Really happy. And this is why the steampunk style that I'm going for is why I have this texture pack on. This texture pack really lends itself quite well to the steampunk aesthetic. These right here are light gray wool blocks, and they have this sort of crisscross texture, and that's what the entire outside of the balloon is made of. I know it doesn't really make sense for a balloon. I put a lot of thought into what blocks I would want to use for the balloon itself, and I know it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for like the outside of a balloon to have wooden crisscross things on it. But sort of the way that I'm imagining it is, in my head at least, I'm thinking of it as it's sort of a steampunky thing to have like a balloon with like a net around it, like a balloon encapsulated by a net, and that's how the balloon is held on. So I'm imagining that these crisscross things are like the net holding onto the balloon, and it kind of works. It kind of works in my head. The light gray sort of cloth looking thing that goes over the top, drapes over the top, it doesn't really make any sense. It's purely aesthetic. No idea, but I'm absolutely loving this base so far. I'm over here looking for cows in this area, and just seeing my base peek over the horizon like that. Oh, so good. All right, so linking my portal is not going very well. But it looks like my boat is completely filling with water. This is like half full of water right now. It's very, very unsettling. Yeah, I don't understand the portal system in Minecraft. Basically, oh great, I have to go over land now. I made a portal in my balloon, went through it, and then I came out on someone else's portal, which is expected. I was dumb and didn't bring more obsidian. I just thought it was going to make a portal in a random spot for me, and I could just break that down and move it. But it linked me to someone else's portal, so I couldn't break that down. So now I've got to run back to my base. That person's base, though, like in overworld dimensions, was 800 blocks away. 800 blocks away, and it put me in their portal. I don't I don't understand why that it would do that. But anyway, I should be back pretty soon here. Okay, I think we're ready for take 2 with the nether. Oh, I set up enchanting up here. I'll go over this in a minute here. Actually, no, I'll go over this now. Sorry, I had to change things around a little bit. So I brought down the ceiling by 1 block. I liked it a lot better when it was higher, but it's fine. It works okay. I put a trapdoor in here and took out this center pillar here. This still comes up the same way. And then I did a little bit of moving around over here with these things, and then place a bed right here. I'm having a hard time figuring out where I want this. I really don't want it there, but it's the best place I can put it right now. And this back here, enchanting setup back here. Again, not super happy with it, but it's the best I can do right now. It's got a full level 30 setup, so that's good. This is the way that I had to kind of do this, because I didn't want the obsidian blocks showing in the ceiling on the floor below, nor did I want them showing up above. So they're in the top layer, but I just put carpet on top of them, so you can't see it from the top. So that works out. So I do a little bit of finagling to get that to work right. But okay, back to the nether. I got 10 obsidian. I hope I have a flint and steel. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, so now I'm back here. Yep, Team Aquas. And now I gotta find my way to where I need to build my portal at, which is 470. I don't understand why it's putting me so far. So far away. Okay, so here's 70. So let me just block this back in here. And alright. So it should go almost 100 blocks this way. That's not too bad. But still, that's so far away for it to actually link my portal like that. It's weird. We had a little bit of some detours we had to make here, but this is where we should need to be. We're at 64 and 70, so this should bring us right back into our balloon. Fingers crossed. Oh yeah, buddy. Excellent. All right. Oh man, I think this might be my favorite base that I've built in Minecraft, like, ever. I really like the hexagon base I used before, but I think this might surpass it as my favorite, even already, like after one day of working on it. I'm absolutely loving this base. I think that's going to be it for this episode here. I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup here. And I think for the next episode, we will try to figure out a place, maybe up there might be really cool, to put that, like a little welcome center or something like that. Basically a building to cover the portal that's going to be on the ground, that I can use to zip back and forth from that portal to this portal without having to have, so that I can get rid of this. Because I would absolutely love to get rid of that. That would make it, I think, 1,000 times better if I could get rid of that. Yeah, I think that's going to be one of our goals for the next episode. Oh, and glowstone. I got to get the glowstone for to replace those there. That won't be too bad though. That won't be too bad at all. All right. Anyway, as the sun sets on this gorgeous day on the server, I'm going to wrap up the episode here. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I really do appreciate it. Oh, there we go. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.